Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying, where's this guy? Where is he? Where did he go? Did he die? Is he sick? Like, what is he doing? Well, I'm right here. Don't worry. I'm back. I'm sorry. It's been super, super busy. As soon as Christmas got over with and New Year's and all that, I had a ton of travel going on. It was busy, busy, busy. But race season is back, and I'm happy to fill you guys in on what's been going on and what things I've got planned for this year, and also share with you a few tips. So let's get started. So the year is 2020. What are my goals? What am I doing? What's going on? Well, the last year I spent a lot of time going to a lot of these motorsports events and local SCCA events, taking pictures, trying to just learn more about my photography, more about how I can be more creative. And so this year, my goal has really been to get credentialed so that I can just kind of get my foot in the door and be known as somebody who's been credentialed for an event. So I can start to network and start to kind of grow my photography and let more people know about what I'm doing and my work so that I can get into different types of events. Luckily, through some networking, I've been talking with a few other photographers and a few folks that I know through SCCA. And I'm potentially going to be doing some other events later this year, which I'm really excited about, which if those happen, you will know. But the very first one that I have got confirmed for this year, which is really exciting, is in the GT World Challenge and TC America. I have actually got credential for that series, and I'm actually going to be able to shoot that all year long as I'm able to attend. I've got a day job, so I can't attend every single event, but I'm going to attend as many as I can because it's an extremely awesome opportunity to photograph some sports cars. So that's actually where I was this past weekend. I was actually down in Austin, Texas, shooting there at Circuit of the Americas. This is a track that I've really wanted to go to in Austin, Texas. It's one of the race tracks that's on the Formula One calendar, which I follow very closely. So it was really cool to be at the track where F1 runs, be able to have kind of free reign of the track to be able to take photos. And I actually took some really awesome shots. So if you want to see some of those, please go find me on Instagram or Twitter. I've actually posted those up, and I'll be updating my website soon as well. It's just been really cool to be able to be part of that whole thing. So I was able to be in the media center and be able to meet other photographers, network further, meet drivers and teams. And it was just an incredible atmosphere to be there. So I'm really, really excited about doing more of that this year. If you guys want to see more about that trip, go check out my Instagram. I did a bunch of stories tied to that, so you'll kind of get a little clips of my trip around the track. Now that that's done, that's great, right? I've got that opportunity, but the thing is I want to be able to move into more. So this is kind of a stepping stone. And, talking with other photographers, they say it's just going to take time. And of course it is. I know it is. And I know you can't just jump in and shoot Formula One or shoot NASCAR credential, that kind of stuff. These higher levels of motorsports, you got to start from the bottom and work your way up. And I think earlier on, I was really excited to just jump into it, just move straight to what I wanted to shoot. But as with anything, when you're trying to master something, when you're trying to become better at something, you have to start from the bottom. You have to learn the lessons and make your way up. So the best thing I can really do is just network and try to get into different events and just do my best and just be consistent at it and keep doing it. So I'm really excited that race season is here. It's going to give me an opportunity to do more and more of these events this year. Of course, right now, there's all of this kind of hysteria going on with this coronavirus, and I think everyone should be safe and take care of themselves, but also it just means that a lot of events are getting canceled, which means it's going to be tough going forward this year, depending on how long things kind of play out. If I'll be able to get to certain events, I'm really hoping it doesn't affect all events, but it looks like for the next month or two, a lot of that stuff's going to be probably canceled or being done, without spectators or media. So it's kind of a tough break to be this year, already having a credential and maybe finding some potential to do more this year. But something like this is affecting that. So I'm not too excited about that part, but I'm really hoping that it kind of clears up and it's going to mean more opportunities this year, later this year. But luckily, it's not affecting me that much as far as, like it is other people financially. This isn't my main gig. This is a side gig. It's something I would love to turn into, a full-time gig, but, this is very much a side gig. And I know a lot of pro photographers that shoot motorsports that, I mean, that's their full-time thing. I mean, that's their bread and butter. And a lot of these events being canceled means, they're losing thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's their livelihood. So I'm really hoping that that also for them that some of this stuff gets cleared up, so they can kind of get back to work. So my goal really this year is just to do more, to grow, to get better at what I'm doing. I mean, I've learned a lot, even just in this last weekend, about what I'm doing and how I need to grow. It is a grind. It's a growing process. It's a learning process. I mean, really, the best way that you can get into more events and be doing other things is really networking. It's being good at what you're doing, but also networking, meeting people, meeting drivers, meeting teams. And it really takes a lot of business ethic as well. I studied business, and even though, maybe you didn't necessarily have to study business, definitely learning about some business practices, being an entrepreneur, finding ways that you can kind of run your own business. Because that's really what it comes down to, is you're using these business practices to try to get teams to work with you, to find out what to charge people. It's a lot of work. And I mean, I haven't been able to figure it out all myself. Definitely putting together kind of all the business stuff has been a little easier for me since I studied it, but man, I don't have any experience in like photojournalism or any of that kind of stuff. So I'm really been leaning on networking with a lot of local photographers and other motorsport photographers, in fact, to really learn from them and understand what it is I need to do to move forward. So if you're kind of moving along the same path, these are things to really consider if you're trying to break into motorsports photography, is that it's going to take time. You're going to have to build, and you're going to have to learn the skills to be able to kind of sell your work and sell your skill set to teams that that maybe would want to work with you. So it's really tough, and there's a lot of people out there already doing it. So of course, like anything else, so you really have to differentiate yourself, and that's something that I learned a lot this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. Is I had to learn how to be more creative. The first day I got there, I was really just kind of overwhelmed by being at this track. I had never been here. This is a place I've seen a lot of races on TV, and it's just so cool being there. And I just kind of wanted to get in there and meet people and just check stuff out. And it kind of took me the first day to get kind of settled and comfortable until I could really kind of just go out there and feel no stress and just relax. And I noticed a lot of the pictures I took the first day were just kind of snapshots. They were just kind of, oh, there's a picture, take it. Here's a picture, take it. And I went back and looked at a lot of my photos, and I was like, man, I just looked it seemed like I was very rigid, like I was really nervous and not comfortable, right? So the next day, I had been talking to another photographer, and he kind of just said, get out there, have fun, be creative, be yourself, just enjoy it, like do what you love. And so that next day, I mean, that was the day I walked around the most. I spent the most time out around the track, just looking for different pictures, looking for different shots, trying to find different angles, just trying to like put my creative spin on it. Like you don't when you're kind of doing the freelance kind of thing where you're just doing your own thing, you don't necessarily have a shot list always. And for me, it was just get out there and take photos, be creative, get the shots. And for me, it was more about just trying to figure out like how I wanted it to look. And one of the key things for that is, when I was walking around the track, they have all these photo holes right in the fences where you can shoot through. And a lot of people will just stand right there in the middle and shoot through that, right? But I mean, there's other areas that you can kind of look through, maybe kind of some breaks in the guardrail on some safe sides where you can shoot like as the cars are going past, or maybe you don't shoot right in the center of the window for photos. Maybe you shoot at the end or at the edge, or maybe by default, most people just sit this way and watch the cars coming. Maybe you go to the other side and watch the cars leaving. There's just so many different angles and different ways that you can approach it, but don't try to just stand there and take a photo. Think about it. See what angles, see what the cars are doing, see just take everything in, see what your background is, right? Is at this track, there's the big tower that stands near the pit lane, and it's such an iconic thing, right? So when you take a picture and that's in the background, you know what track you're at. You know where it is that picture was taken. So use things like that, foreground, colors, right? If you're shooting across the track and it's just a bunch of gray and then a car and more gray, right? That's not very interesting. At this track, there's a lot of color on the pavement in some corners. Maybe you've got a little bit of grass, and then in the background, maybe the tower's there, or you have some banners from some sponsors, yellow or green or what have you. use those to your advantage to create layers in the photo, to create some creativity. They're using low shutter speeds and panning, doing panning shots. All of that will kind of run together and become lines of color in the shot with the car in focus. So you have to really think through it, and you really have to enjoy it. Don't go out there and stress about it. Really enjoy it. Look at what you're doing, enjoy what you're doing. You should be taking pictures and looking at the back of your camera and getting excited. I mean, there was one point that I just was walking around and I found a spot to shoot cars, and I got a few shots that I just exclaimed out loud. I was like, woo, like that's an awesome shot. I got really excited about it. And that shows that you're loving it and you're really enjoying what you're doing. So you have to get those kind of shots. You have to be able to go out there and do it and love it and enjoy it. I mean, put your passion into it, put your heart into it. That's when you're going to create your best work. And that kind of work, those kind of things that are passion projects, things that you are putting your love of what you're doing into your work, that's the stuff that people notice, and that's the stuff that's different, and that's the stuff that people are going to want to buy. So that's it for this video. I just wanted to kind of let you know what's been going on, what my goals are for this next year, and how I'm just trying to change my thinking a little bit to push myself forward. So I know a lot of people are going to come in and struggle with a lot of the same things that I'm struggling with, and that's part of my mission with this channel, is to help you guys who are trying to get into it, maybe give you kind of a head start on some of these things so you can kind of already be thinking the right way as you move forward. So I'm super excited about 2020 and what's going on. This is a great year of opportunity for me so far. My goal was to really even get any kind of credential this year, and the fact that it's, here it is March and I've already got a credential for the rest of the year is super, super exciting. My goal is to get more. I don't want to stop there. I want to try to push my way forward and get more. So that's it. I hope you guys liked the video. I hope it was useful for you. I know that this is not quite the content for everybody that follows this channel, but I know those of you that are interested in motorsports photography will find it useful. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm almost at 400 subscribers. It'd be awesome to hit that soon. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave those below and I'd be happy to answer those. So here we are, another upload. First one for 2020, I think. It's been long enough, so I'm glad it's here, and we'll see you guys in the next one.